Corporate strategic plans map out a company's financial and market objectives over a multi-year horizon. They deal in high-level abstractions, target revenue growth, market share capture, and broad product portfolio expansion. Down on the factory floor, operations are governed by the master production schedule. This is a granular, day-by-day tactical ledger that dictates exactly how many units of a specific item to build on a Tuesday afternoon. When siloed departments attempt to independently translate a 5-year revenue target into an afternoon production run, structural friction is inevitable. Sales might promise a client an aggressive delivery date, while operations is simultaneously optimizing the line for long, slow runs to cut costs. Without a formal alignment mechanism, departments end up working at cross purposes. Inventory levels swing wildly out of alignment with actual demand, and production rates become erratic as the factory attempts to chase contradictory signals. A company can draft a flawless long-term strategy, but if it cannot connect those abstract multi-year goals directly to the daily output of the factory floor, the plan fails. Bridging that void is the primary operational hurdle for any enterprise. The mechanical bridge used to close that gap is Sales and Operations Planning, or S&OP. S&OP is a formal, mandatory process that forces cross-functional alignment. It extracts the isolated goals of individual departments and synthesizes them into a single, unified business plan. The overriding objective of this process is absolute synchronization, continuously balancing the supply capabilities of the factory with the market demand generated by sales. To build an accurate operational picture, the process requires input from across the enterprise. Marketing, sales, product development, operations, logistics, and finance are all brought to the table. By forcing executive management to evaluate the business holistically, S&OP eliminates reactive, siloed decision-making. It replaces operational chaos with a proactive system designed to manage change before it disrupts the factory floor. S&OP synthesizes 5 departmental subplans into a central business plan. First, the marketing plan dictates the demand forecast. Next, the production plan defines manufacturing volume. The resource plan checks capacity. Fourth, the inventory plan dictates finished goods targets. Finally, the distribution plan handles logistics. These 5 plans are highly interdependent. Without locking them together, the operational structure becomes unstable. These subplans are revised through an iterative monthly cycle. Step 1. Planners validate historical data. Step 2. Teams generate an updated demand forecast. Step 3. Operations adjust production to match demand. Step 4. Teams resolve initial imbalances. Step 5. Executives authorize the final plan. This rigorous monthly discipline ensures the company is constantly course-correcting. It transforms isolated departmental goals into a highly responsive, unified operational engine. The analytical output is the S&OP grid, mapping strategic plans for sales, production, and inventory against actual results. The planned production volume dictates a level strategy, scheduling exactly 100 units every month regardless of fluctuating sales. By holding output steady, operations maintains a stable workforce and avoids continuous machine changeover costs. Execution rarely matches intent. In January, sales sold only 43 units against a 50-unit target. Simultaneously, the factory slightly overproduced, yielding 105 units instead of 100. These deviations cascade mathematically. Actual inventory topped to 82 units, missing the 110 strategic target. The grid's immediate value lies in exposing the exact gap between intent and execution, proactively preventing operational overloads. To understand how those capacity decisions are made, consider a product family with highly volatile quarterly demand, 400 units in Q1, building to 1,000 in Q2, dropping to 600 in Q3, and spiking to a massive 2,000 units in Q4. During S&OP, planners simulate opposing production strategies against this highly volatile forecast to evaluate a level strategy against a chase strategy. This comparison charts both approaches. The level strategy ignores volatility, producing a flat 1,100 units quarterly. HR costs are zero, but inventory buildup generates $288,000 in holding costs. Conversely, the chase strategy matches production to the exact forecast. Holding costs drop to $126,984. Executing the chase model requires severe operational flexing, scaling from 2 workers in Q1 up to 17 in Q3, then firing 10 for Q4. HR costs skyrocket to $132,190, carrying the operational risk of an overworked, insecure labor force. This exposes the core dilemma of supply chain planning. The enterprise must decide whether it is cheaper to pay for vast warehouse space or the recruitment and severance costs of constant workforce turnover. Neither pure strategy is a perfect solution. Simulations provide data, but resolving this requires executive judgment. In Step 5 of the S&OP process, cross-functional leaders confront the data from the simulations during the executive S&OP meeting. The executives must ask qualitative questions that the NOT alone cannot answer. They need to determine if the local labor pool even possesses enough skilled workers to support a massive temporary hiring spike in Q3. Because of practical constraints, the executive team typically rejects the extreme models in favor of authorizing a hybrid strategy. Operationally, a hybrid approach merges both models. A company utilizes a level production rate for the first half of the year to steadily build a manageable, cost-effective base of inventory. As the Q4 peak approaches, they shift to a controlled chase model, utilizing temporary subcontracting or authorized overtime to cover the remaining gap in demand. Once leadership authorizes this hybrid solution, it locks in. It becomes the official plan of record, dictating downstream material purchasing and daily factory scheduling. S&OP serves as the central analytical tool that allows an organization to proactively absorb volatility. It aligns daily schedules directly with maximum enterprise profitability, ensuring that every siloed department works in unison to fulfill the customer's requirements.